Welcome to Teachers in Real Estate podcast with your host, Jackie Durbin. I have built a six-figure income from using what I learned from being a teacher. Teachers make great agents, but guys, it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Some people are cutthroat. Some clients will make you want to throw in the towel. But your years in education have built you for a career in real estate, and I am here to help you. With the right mindset and the right tribe, you can experience the same success. You can either supplement your income as a part-time agent or go full-time into real estate. The tools I will share will help you gain the confidence and expertise to reach your goals. Whatever your goals are, that's okay. We're going to enjoy this time together. This podcast is geared towards teachers who are looking to get their start in real estate and teachers who are already rocking those dual careers. If that's you, grab your notebook, your pencil, and buckle up. We are about to begin Teachers in Real Estate. Hey guys, I hope that wherever you are and you happen to be listening to this, I hope that your day is amazing. I hope that you're having an awesome time. And if not, guess what? Unless the sun's down and you're ready to hit the pillow, which I don't know anyone who would find my voice to be soothing to go to sleep to, but whatever. Guess what? You still have time to kickstart your day into something more positive. So anyhow, guys, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've joined me. Yes, I am your host, Jackie Durbin, and I'm so excited to be recording this episode because in this episode, we're going to talk about something that I talk about in the beginning. So if you are a first-time listener, welcome. I'm glad that you have found this podcast. I hope that you find it informative and helpful and encouraging. If you're a long-time listener, what's up, friends? I'm glad that you are back. But regardless, in that beginning intro that I do for every episode, I always say, whatever your goals are, let's enjoy this time together, right? So what we're going to talk about today are your goals. And how do you, as a newly licensed real estate agent or someone who's been licensed for a while, how do you reach your goals? How do you obtain your goals? So these past couple of days, we were actually, my family and I, we were spending some time with some other friends that are also in real estate. And, we got to talking about the thought and the fear of scarcity, right? So let's say that you're doing exceptional, right? You're one of the top producers, you're doing great, your business is wonderful. You still sometimes have that fear of, is this sustainable? I know I'm being successful right now, but is it because of the market? Is it because of, some external factor? We all have that imposter syndrome, guys. Every single person. And people who say they don't have it, guess what? Spoiler alert, they're lying. We all do. I have imposter syndrome probably daily, okay? But what I want to talk about though in this podcast is reaching your goals. Well, first things first, you have to define your goals, okay? And you can't just say, I want to pay off my house. Guys, we know as teachers, your goals have to be smart, right? So they have to be specific. They have to be measurable. They have to be, I can't remember what all the other words are. You know what? Sausage, biscuits, and gravy. I don't remember all of it, but I know that you all who are still in the classroom, you remember. But basically, you have to have goals that you can say, this is what it is. This is how we'll know I have reached it. And then you have a plan in place, right? As educators, we know all about the importance of setting goals, right? We create a roadmap for our success. We do this for our students. We meet in, professional learning communities, and we come together as educators. We look and see where are we in this progress of meeting that goal for that individual student, right? How many of you, I know I used to always do this right before conference or, report cards. I would have my kids write down what are their goals for the next quarter, right? Okay, guys, here's what your grades look like right now. What do you want your goal, or, what do you want your grade to be? And how are you going to have that happen? Are you going to spend more time studying? If you are, how much time? And how frequently? If you have missing assignments, how many missing assignments do you have? And how many can you do each day? And when are you going to turn them in by? Right? So this is not a new thing for us. But in real estate, I think a lot of times we're scared to write down our goals because they seem too big. Guys, I'm going to be real with you right now, okay? Are y'all ready? I hope you're ready because this is going to be an episode like no other. I'm going to completely stand here in the stark nude and tell you all the good, bad, and ugly. First things first, when I got into real estate, well, when I first got my license, I didn't sell anything for nearly 2 years. Yeah, okay. Sold nothing. And the reason why is because I didn't write any goals down. My goals were like lofty dreams. Like I would just say stuff like, oh, I want to make enough money so I can, leave teaching and have more flexibility to spend time with my family. I've told you all before, my parents are older. I don't know how much time I have, but I know that each day is a blessing that I have with them. And so I want to be able to have the freedom to go and see them whenever I want to. So I knew that that was a dream of mine. But in order to reach that dream, I had to write down goals that would get me there. So, first year that I actually started, and this is going to sound crazy, the first year that I actually started producing was after I had created what was called like a dream board, right? So, like we've all heard of these, right? A dream board, a vision board, you can manifest whatever. Okay, I've manifested trying to have a six pack for I don't know how long. It ain't happening, okay? And the reason why is because you can't just say, hey, I want this to happen. The reason why you create a vision board is so that way something is in your vision all the time. That way you're reminded of it because there's days I remember days when I was teaching, I was like, there's no way that they're going to get this. I'm exhausted. Why am I putting in the work? And what was my vision? Looking at my students, right? My students were my vision. And so even on the hardest days, I was willing to go above and beyond because I saw the vision in front of me. In real estate, a lot of times we don't see the vision, okay? If you're making cold calls, all you're hearing maybe are no's or objections. And as a new agent, you don't know how to handle those objections. Well, guess what? If you don't have your visions in front of you, if you don't have your goals in front of you, if you don't have a reminder of why you're going through this, you're going to give up and you're not going to reach your goals. It's just not going to happen. So what I did was, I had this whole little board. We went to this little activity. It was fun. There was wine, there was food. It was a good time. Okay. So anyhow, so we're sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what are my goals? And one of the things that I had wanted to do, and this was back in 2019-ish, I think, when I did this. Yeah, 2019. That's exactly when it was. So anyhow, one of the things that I put on there was a book. I had this huge goal that I wanted to be a published author. And it was a lofty goal. At the time, I didn't even know what I was going to write a book about. But guess what? I put it on my board because I wanted to be reminded that, you know what, this is something I want to do. So at some point, I'm going to actually have to like do some work for it. Another thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to create a podcast. So I put a picture of a microphone on there. Well, I don't have to tell you about that goal because guess what? It happened. The other thing was I wanted us to create a team. Now, granted, I had just gotten into real estate, like to where I was ready to like put some work into it at this point, but I didn't know what that was going to take. The cool thing is everything that I put on my vision board that was truly important. I mean, I put other stupid stuff on there, like a picture of like, Cinderella's castle because I wanted to go to Disney, or like the beach because I wanted my husband and I to go on a vacation. And I put like a camper with an older couple because I wanted my parents to be able to move out here. Now, not everything on that vision board happened, but do you know what did happen? I wrote a book. I'm a published author. Okay. And it wasn't that I manifested it. I saw the picture of it. And because it was important to me, I made the work important. I worked hard. I talked to publishers. I talked to already published authors and asked them, hey, you know what? Where did you start? What kind of information can you give me? What kind of blueprint can you give me so that way I can make this happen? I did leave teaching. Okay. And we do have a team. We have a team of 21 agents locally and even more that are in other states, right? So my point is, in order to be able to reach goals, you have to know what they are. And even though we put like tons of stuff on a vision board or in a journal or however, it works for you, you have to be able to prioritize those things because when you look at a whole big mess of pictures, it can get overwhelming, right? So first things first, you need to take time right now. You could pause this podcast or you can do it later or whatever. You need to take time and reflect on what you want to achieve as a real estate agent, right? So that could be like, hey, you know what? I want to be financially independent, meaning you want to pay off all your debts. Okay. Maybe you still have student loans. Maybe you have credit card debt. Maybe you have a car payment. You want to pay that off, whatever it is, right? Maybe one of your goals is you want to build a strong client base. Well, guess what? If you want to have a client base, then that means you have to get out there and actually meet clients. So maybe you want to expand your network. Maybe you want to start getting referrals to other agents in other states and have them give them to you, right? Whatever it is, you need to write it down. It needs to be specific. Oh, now I remember all the smart stuff. It needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be attainable. It needs to be relevant, and it needs to be time bound. That is the idea of a SMART goal. So let's say that one of your goals, okay, one of the goals that you've set for yourself is that you want to make money, okay? You want to sell some houses. It needs to be specific. I want to sell 10 houses by within the next 12 months because I want to be able to pay off my car, and I'll know that I'm doing this if I have at least one every month. Okay? Now, I know I said, 10 houses in the next 12 months. Well, here's the thing. If I don't have any people that I'm working with, I need to give myself a little bit of leeway to start engaging in some different real estate activities so that way I can make, that happen, right? It's not going to be like, hey, I just meet somebody at the grocery store and I'm like, hey, let's go buy a house. And they're like, yes, let's do that. It's not how it works, but God, it would be nice if it was. Oh, that would be so nice. But that's not how real estate works. Okay, guys? Now, when you set your goal, you need to break it down, right? Once you've defined your goal, divide it into smaller, actionable items, okay? Rome was not built in a day, and neither will your real estate empire, okay? So when you break down your goal, you need to create tasks. Now, if I'm a new agent and I want to sell so many houses, and to me that seems like, yeah, I could totally do 10 houses in 12 months, right? If I haven't sold any, I may not know what I need to do in order to get this job done, okay? Now, let's think back to the classroom, okay? Obviously, I want all of my students to do well, okay? So I'm like everyone's going to pass this math test or whatever that I'm teaching. I can say that, but I need to know, how do I know that they're moving in the right direction in order to reach this goal? So maybe I need to take anecdotal records. Maybe we need to have a class discussion. Maybe I need to do like a number talk, right? To make sure that they're able to communicate how to figure out a problem. I know as a teacher to do all of those things, right? And if I'm a brand new teacher, who am I talking to? My mentor teachers, my teachers that are in my cohort that have, more experience than me. That's the exact same thing in real estate. And if you're thinking to yourself, or if you're saying it out loud, you don't know the people that I work with, then you're at the wrong real estate company. Okay. Or you're hanging around the wrong people, because I guarantee you there are people out there, ding, 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 me, spoiler alert, but there are people out there, and I always say spoiler alert, but I'm not the only person who has this mindset, guys. Okay. But seriously, you need to talk with other real estate agents that have the level of success that you want and reach out to them. Ask to take them out for a coffee. Ask to, come by their office. Ask them if they have, a half an hour, 45 minutes, or an hour that, you could go and talk to. You're not hiring them as a mentor. You just want to pick their brain and tell them, you know what? I'd like to take you out for coffee. I've created some goals for this year, and I know that you're really successful, and I value your opinion and your expertise. Can we go out for coffee and you give me like maybe 5 or 10 actionable items that I could do so I can reach this goal? And then do what they say. Okay, that's the main thing. So I see and I talk to a lot of new real estate agents and ones that have been around for a while. But anyhow, we all have this idea of, I can do it better, or I don't need your help. Guys, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay, the Egyptians were not like, you know what, I don't need your help, I'll just build this pyramid by myself. No, they all work together. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, when you work together, the customer is getting the best of a real estate agent, right? Based on things that you learn from other people. And so I need to talk to the real estate agents in my area and say, okay, if I want to do this, what are some things that I can do that are going to help me reach that goal? Now, if that real estate agent is just like twiddling their finger and they have no idea, they are not the person you need to talk to. Okay. But here's some tips that I would give you. You need to be doing open houses. Okay. Now, if it's during the school year, then obviously during the week, that's not going to work, right? Do them on the weekends, every single Saturday. Okay. And do it for like 3 or 4 hours. All right. In the summertime, guess what? You can do them during the week. On your breaks, you can do them during the week. There are a ton of listings probably in your area that are vacant. Okay, they're vacant homes, nobody's living there. They want to sell the house. You can do an open house during the day. Now, are you going to get as much traffic during the week, in the afternoon as you would on a Saturday? Probably not. You won't have as much traffic, but the people that are coming in are more serious buyers. So what would you rather have? A handful of people that come in that may or may not really want to buy a house. They just happen to be out going grocery shopping or going to the movies and they just saw the signs and came in? Or do you want the people who are actually looking for a house? I would rather have the few people that are looking for a house, right? So that's one thing. The next thing is continuing education. Okay. The reason why we get good at doing what we're doing as teaching is because we're constantly required to go to CE, right? We have continuing education. We have what's called professional development, right? We have people who come in. We may have like a book study that our school does. But the point is, just like teaching, learning is the key to staying ahead in real estate game. So, a couple years ago during COVID, when the rates were so low and the prices, right? Anybody could be successful at real estate. Okay. If you were listing a house, you really didn't have to do anything. Heck, people didn't even have to vacuum the house because rates were so low and there were so many buyers, right? Now, as a buyer's agent during that time, you had to kind of know how to negotiate and really, be able to make your buyer's offer stand out. But for the most part, that was a pretty easy thing. Now, when the market shifted, then that became a little bit more. So, real estate agents, we started seeing a dip in the numbers, right? People left the industry. The reason why people could stay in the industry, though, was because they started to attend webinars, seminars, workshops, because they had to broaden their knowledge. They had to rely on talking to real estate agents who had been through a market shift, right? When we engage with other industry professionals, we read relevant books, when we listen to podcasts just like this one, then we can stay informed, we can stay inspired. And here's the thing, even if you, okay, so like I can remember teaching and the last few years that I taught back in Kentucky, I was teaching fifth grade. You know what? At the end of the year, fifth graders, they know it all. They know it all. What they don't know is that, like, they can't just put on deodorant. You have to use soap and water and shower because if not, then you're still going to smell. It doesn't matter how much Axe deodorant you put on yourself, okay? But I remember, like, at the end of the day, I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. Like, the kids were hormonal, they weren't listening, or, maybe there was like, a tiff or someone, the two best friends are not getting along right now, or maybe, I administered an assessment and they didn't do as well as I thought that they should have. And so now I'm questioning stuff and I would just be like down, right? I was down and out, like, oh, counting the days till the end of the school year. And then I would go to faculty meeting and we would have like a guest speaker come in and they had a lot of positive energy. And you know what would happen? My negative energy usually went away. And you know what? I started being a little more positive and I started seeing that my glass was not half empty. It was half full. Nothing changed except the energy that I had around me. So, one of the ways that I could be a better teacher was to be around positive people. Same thing. The way that you do better in real estate is by putting yourself in rooms where people are excited about the industry. They're not going, well, the rates are high. What are we going to do? There's nothing you can do. Okay. You're not in control of that. Well, there's no inventory. What are we going to do? Again, nothing in your control. But when we stay positive and we look at the problem instead of just saying, oh, well, this sucks, and we say, okay, how can we find a solution, or how can we work through this, or how can we embrace what we already know and change things up, right? So total game changer for your goals. Next thing, guys, you have to embrace your technology. Okay. In today's era, we have technology and it's a game changer for real estate agents. Okay. So you need to utilize your CRM, especially if one of your goals is that you want to increase your production. Software to manage your contacts and your leads effectively are, it's hello. I have a second business all about teaching real estate agents and coaching them on how to use it. But even more than that, leveraging social media platforms, showcasing your listings, connecting with potential clients. Now, you may be going, Jackie, I don't have any clients. Okay. Are there model homes in your area? If there are, go and create video content showing those model homes. In the information that you're going to send out, whether it's through a video or a reel, or you're going live, or you're going to do, like a carousel post or whatever it is, you need to put on there something like, hey, this is what this much money will buy you in insert this city. That is a way to show people, hey, guess what? This is what I do. Now, when we're talking about goals, you really do have to make sure that you have an accountability partner. Okay. This is where we mess up. So, networking and building relationships is amazing. As a teacher, guys, we know the power of building connections. You apply those same principles in real estate. You attend industry events, you join local associations, you engage in community activities. By doing those things, you're going to build a strong network of like-minded professionals. Those like-minded professionals, guys, not only are they going to open doors for referrals, but that is going to be your mentorship, that's going to be your support, and that's going to be your accountability buddy. Because someone is going to have to say to you, how are you doing on your goal? You said you wanted to close this many. How many did you do? And guys, that's a big thing. Okay, so one of the things that I used to do was I would keep my goals to myself. I didn't want to tell anybody. And why didn't I want to tell anyone? Because then if I failed or I didn't reach my goal, I didn't have anyone to feel bad about. Okay. And guess what? I grew up being Catholic. Okay. The Catholic guilt, it is built in my body. Okay. So this past month, I was on my mastermind with a bunch of other real estate leaders here in Arizona and then also in other states. And I had told them what my goal was for the month. And I'm like, this is my goal. I want you all to hold me accountable. And I got about halfway through the month, and one of them called, like texted me, sent me a message, and they were like, hey, I remembered you saying this was your goal. How are you doing on that goal? And how can I help you? And I'm like, wow, okay, first of all, yeah, I've been kind of lazy. I've been sitting on the couch because, it's summer and I don't want to do anything. And you're right, I'm not. And I answered that person back very honestly. And I said, you know what? I'm really not doing good at all. And it's not because of anything other than I have been lazy and I've not made it an important thing. And instead of making me feel bad, do you know what that person said? Is everything okay? Is there anything that I can do to help you? And I'm like, wow, no. I mean, I thank you. Yes, but but that's the way that I have that though is by networking and building relationships. And so if you have those people, those are going to be your people that are going to help you through things, right? Those are going to be the people that are going to say, not just, oh, wow, you suck, you didn't reach your goal, but they're going to say, you know what? Are you okay? How can I help you? Because it may be that, you know what, you've been really working hard. You've been doing open houses. You've been doing all the things to get the leads and it's not working. Okay. Tell me how you prepare for your open house. Tell me everything from beginning to end. And then now as a mentor, as someone who has built a relationship with that person, now I can share with you some things that I do that maybe give me different results for you to try. Guys, we do this. Teachers, I know that you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is exactly what we do as teachers. It is. This is why teachers make good real estate agents, because we already know how to do the things. We just have to keep going. Guys, the biggest thing though is you have to celebrate your milestones. Just as we celebrate student achievements in the classroom, take time to acknowledge and celebrate your milestones, whether it's closing a deal, reaching a sales target, not achieving your goal, but coming close and not giving up. Celebrate your successes and use them as motivation to keep pushing forward. Guys, there you have it. Right? Now go write your goals down and reach them. Yay. Okay, no, guys. Remember, transitioning from teaching to real estate is a new chapter in your life. You need to embrace the challenges. You need to stay focused. You need to never stop learning. But the most important thing is, don't judge your chapter 1 versus someone else's chapter 12. Because I bet if you started at the beginning of both people's books, You both had the same struggles. You both had the same pain points. You both had the same obstacles that got in your way and made you feel like you wanted to quit. However, when we start judging what we're doing right now to what someone else is doing who's been in the business for a while, there's going to be differences. Someone else is going to be more successful. That is okay. Guys, real estate's hard. I know every TV show on every single network makes it look like it's just a breeze and all you have to do is just like walk around, put one sign out, go in the house, and then people want to buy and, oh, I get to ring a bell. That's not it. There's a lot more to it. And so come into real estate with the understanding that just like everybody thinks, oh, being a teacher is easy. Yeah, I want to see you do it. I always used to say that to people. You know what? Let me give you my keys. You try it. I'll be back in like 15 because I know before I even get my Starbucks order, you're going to be ready to quit, right? Real estate is built for us teachers because we have perseverance. We have the grit. We can adapt to different things, okay? And guess what? We don't give up. Maybe because we're stubborn, maybe because we're badass. Okay, guys? Hey, you know what? If I can help you in any way, I want you to reach out. But remember that I would love for you to please rate and share this podcast. I want so many more teachers to find this easily. Also, connect with me on Instagram at Jackie Durbin AZ. That's JACKIE DURBINAZ. And for those of you who have reached out, thank you so much. I had I think I had like 5 listeners reach out to me just this past week and said, oh my gosh, you were cracking me up. I think I said something about a rabbit or something. I don't even know, but they thought that I was funny. I was like, oh, you have no idea. You should ask my past students. They'll be like, Miss Durbin says the funniest stuff. But guys, seriously, if you have questions about getting licensed, if you need help gaining business, if you need help taking your business to the next level, I will gladly take that phone call. Okay, guys, connect with me on Instagram. My email's on there. My phone number's on there. So if you need help, please be on there. Guys, I hope you found this episode helpful. I hope you always find my episodes inspiring, but I want to thank you so much for tuning in to Teachers in Real Estate. I want you to join us next time as we explore some more tips and some more tricks to excel in this world of real estate. Until then, keep reaching your goals and write them down. All right, guys, I'll see you next time on Teachers in Real Estate.